A new survey reveals that executives are changing their leadership style. Well, Catherine Lavelle joins me to explain what this is all about. Good morning, Catherine. How are you today?
Good morning, Natalie. I'm well, thank you.
So yeah, let's explain this study and what are you finding?
Sure. So our latest research, which is focused on the topic of whole brain leadership, found that there's actually a group of consumers and employees that are having a lot of influence and impact at top levels of organizations. And we're calling this group the Pathfinders, and I'll come back to them in a minute. But what we found is that leaders need to exhibit skills and behaviors that are related to some areas they haven't typically stretched on. So we think of, company leaders as being good at things like finance, data, critical thinking, and that's true. But our research now shows that they also have to stretch their right brain skills, and that would include things like empathy, creativity, and innovation if they're going to communicate effectively with this group we call the Pathfinders.
Well, I'm curious. Of course, everyone wants to, especially if you're in an executive position, you want to be the best that you can be. What is motivating this change or this need for people to start changing and adapting both sides of their brain, as you were talking?
Right. Well, it's definitely this group that we're talking about. So Pathfinders represent a full 30% of the population, we found. They do not land in any one specific demographic group, so age nor gender matters. And they're a group of people that not only feels empowered, but actually socially obligated to raise their concerns, interests, and issues to the most senior levels of the organization. So because of that, and because of a number of other pressures that are faced by company leaders, they really have to kind of be able to react quickly and fire on all cylinders. So we're saying that requires a whole brain approach to thinking.
Okay, so I'm assuming if there's some executives that are watching, they're like, well, this sounds great, but this is the way I've been for X amount of years. How can they kind of rethink or reskill themselves to fit what you guys were talking about to be more productive?
Sure, so they wouldn't be alone. In fact, we found that only less than 10% of companies are employing whole brain thinking right now, but a full 85% of them plan to within the next 3 years, and almost 60% have already started building those skills. So some of the things that they're doing and that we would highly recommend are to bring some new presence into their most senior leadership ranks, into their C-suite. So whether that be employees from different levels in their company so they can practice communicating and understand issues and interests from all different levels, or whether that means bringing somebody new into the company leadership from a different industry. Both of those can work. The second thing that we're seeing and that we also recommend is that organizations use their senior leaders to practice differently than they have before. Actually use case studies, role-based scenarios, work through issues, and make sure there's an application of those right brain skills that is required to draw upon. And then the third, I would say, is using what we call design thinking, typically used by marketing and consumer research groups, but really putting these Pathfinders' concerns, interests at the center of everything they're solving for, so that they're forced to draw on their right brain skills as well.
Good stuff. Catherine, thank you so much for your time. And where can people go for more information as well?
Certainly, you're welcome. They can go to Accenture.com/wholebrain.
Yeah, we're making it easy for you, too. We've got that right there on the bottom of your screen as well. Catherine, have a good one, and we appreciate your time today.
Thank you. You too, Natalie.